No Corey Seager, but what do you know? Dodgers win. So they're up 1-0 in this best of 7 series. He's Andy McCullough. I'm Dylan Hernandez.
We are literally professional journalists. The Dodgers are up 1-0 in the series. They had a 5-2 victory here at Dodger Stadium in the first game of the NLCS. You know, obviously there was a big news in the morning with Corey Seager being out, but the Dodgers went out and basically played like it didn't really matter. They did what they had to do against Jose Quintana, and then they beat up on the Cubs bullpen, which is probably the biggest weakness of the Cubs. I mean, what did you think watching tonight?
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because, you know, coming in, I mean, you wrote about this a couple days ago that Kershaw's kind of not the vintage Kershaw anymore, and he might be a 5 or 6 inning type pitcher. Today he gave him 5 innings, and it kind of turned out to be enough. You know, honestly, I had my doubts about this, and we've talked about this on these videos, you know, in the days leading up to this, that, you know, in these 6th, 7th innings of these close games, I kind of want Clayton Kershaw in there. But you know what? The reality is that Kenta Maeda has really kind of come in, changed the bullpen. You know, Cingrani, Watson,
been really good.
You know, they delivered 4 perfect.
Morrow's been outstanding.
Yeah, and 4 perfect innings to close the game. I mean, you can't really get any better than that.
Right,
so.
right. And I think, you know, they recognize something that, you know, they had some trouble figuring out, or either having the personnel to do a few years ago with Kershaw. Is, you know, he gave him 5. He was okay. His stuff wasn't great. His command wasn't great. But look, he played a team. There's 4 teams left in baseball. Cubs are one of them. They belong here. And Kershaw went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs. He made basically one big mistake. It was a slider up to Almora that got hit out. And, you know, you can live with that. You know, you can live with him. Not every starting pitcher has to do what Justin Verlander did today for the Astros, you know?
Yeah, although it is kind of weird though, right? For long-time observers of this team, I mean, it's almost kind of like the boy who cried wolf, where every season they keep telling us, you know, we don't need him, we don't have to be as dependent on him as much, we don't have to depend on him as much. And then they actually get here and no, they actually need him to go, like, they need him to go 7, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, for this to actually unfold the way it did, you know, especially like in the first game of a series where they just lost Corey Seager, I think kind of the you know, emotional and mental imprint that this leaves on the series, I think is huge.
Right, for sure. And we talked about this, you know, before when the night started, kind of looking at the lineup, and I said, you know, the guys who are going to need to spark the offense are, you know, Logan Forsythe, Austin Barnes, Yasiel Puig, that middle tier of the lineup, and they were the ones who got through against Quintana.
You threw in Kike Hernandez in there.
Oh, well, yeah, Kike Hernandez also, you know, was not as effective, and so, you know,
but Puig made up for it.
Puig made up for it by, you know, having an excellent night. Puig has been the breakout star this postseason. You know, I wasn't here in 13, you know, obviously when it seemed like he was doing this on a much more regular basis, but he's playing with an incredible amount of energy. You know, he's doing goofy things, he's saying goofy things. The crowd is going bonkers for everything he does, and the results are there. He's been their best player in the postseason.
Yeah, it's really kind of amazing just because of how Puig's journey has been. You know, it started off like this, and then for, I mean, how long has it been now? Like 4.
This is the 5th year.
Yeah, like it's just kind of took this like real weird detour, and he got sent down to the minor leagues last year. We thought we would never see him again.
Right. They wanted to trade him last August. You know, they said, we will trade this guy if someone makes a fair offer. No one made a fair offer. He's here hitting home runs, you know, wagging his tongue, giving himself curtain calls. It's been, you know, it's a tremendous show. And I think, you know, the Dodgers did their damage tonight against the Cubs bullpen, which, you know, I think the biggest advantage the Dodgers have in this series is their bullpen is just so much better than the Cubs. The Cubs are shredded. I mean, you're talking tonight, you know, they bring in a guy, Hector Rondon, who wasn't on the roster in the first round, but now he's considered good enough to face the top of the Dodgers order. And what happens? Chris Taylor hits a homer off him 2 pitches in. It's just, you know, that is the biggest gap, I think, between the two clubs, and the Dodgers did well to exploit it tonight.
I mean, it got to be just torture for being a Cubs fan, right? I mean, good for them that they've got to win last year, because because as soon as it goes to the bullpen, you feel like, okay, the floodgates are about to open. This is kind of the beginning of the end, you know.
I mean, they did win the World Series last year, so I guess they can always. It's Blackhawks season anyway.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
You see, the city's like flooded, right? When we go,
is it?
Yeah,
when we
go over there, yeah, it might be. We might be limited in where we could go out.
Stay safe, Chicago. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. You can read all of the coverage of tonight's game at latimes.com/Dodgers. You can follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan O Hernandez, and then you can follow me if you want at McCullough Times. If you're from Chicago and you're mad that I said Dave Roberts is a better manager than Joe Madden, please don't follow me. I don't need to be reminded that you hate me. Have a good night.